Jesus, I believe.
Jesus, I believe.
Jesus, I believe.
Jesus, I believe.
I believe.
Hi, today we are privileged to be on the youth program where we are having a guest who want to shed more lights on the lives of the young people and what they really need to become aware of, because the guest herself, she is young, she has discovered something she's passionate of, such that through sharing her experience from both professional and what she's living on a day-to-day life can be part of impacting your life as you keep watching and learning from us. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Father Dennis. My name is Josephine Wanjiku. I am a counseling psychologist. I have a degree in counseling psychology, whereby I acquired it from Tangaza University College, and my degree was majoring in family life. So when we talk about family, it consists of children, where we have the infants, the young childhood, and also we have the adolescents, and we also have the young people, the youth, that is, and also the elderly, together with our parents.
Why did you have to make a choice to be a psychologist?
Well, the reason why I decided to do this course was because I had a burning question in me. Why do people behave the way they do? How can people improve their lives? How can people learn to deal with their issues and also be able to help other people overcome their issues as well? So that was my main reason.
You are talking about having experience of people having issues. Will you tell us, were you focused on the people out there having issues, or would it be that you also went through some issues in your life so that you felt for them and you really longed for to have an answer?
Yes, I went through some personal issues that led me to have some questions that I needed answer. And I was also struggling with, I didn't know what I wanted to be, but I knew that I could talk to people with the least knowledge I had, and I could make them transform their lives or change their lives to better.
You're talking about talking to people where you had your own personal issues. How was that making you feel? Is it because you were being sympathetic to them, or what was the cause to you forgetting yourself with your own issues to start again attending to someone with their own issues?
Well, it happened that yes, I had my own issues, and also I still had a heart to help, especially my close friends. Like an example, if I can give, there was a time I had a challenge of, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life after I finished my Form 4. And then at the same time, I had a friend of mine. He had his own personal issues, and one of the ways that he was coping with those issues was he was thinking of going, robbing, and doing other illegal things so as to get his finances right. So as much as I was having my own issues, I was very, let me say, then I could say I was sympathetic, but right now that's not something that I'd like to give to or offer to other people. So I had to talk to him, I had to listen to him, and also help him explore what he could have done to raise his finances rather than go rob, and also it could have brought other negative consequences.
You were sympathetic by then, and now you have realized you don't need to be sympathetic to such a people. What does that mean?
Okay, when I say sympathetic, it means I was sorry for people, what they were going through and all that. But now after I did my degree in counseling, I realized showing sympathy is cannot help much. But being empathetic to somebody can really help, because you are listening to them, you are listening to even what they are not saying. You are trying to fit into their shoes and also helping them see the bigger picture and help them to move from where they are to another point in their lives.
Yes, I'm not a psychologist, but being a mentor, trainer, a coach, I have specialized in my coaching to be a good listener. And as you have said rightly, you value not sympathizing with someone, but empathizing. I realize this is where we sometimes come to be conscious of putting the other person first, not looking with judgmental eyes, but allowing ourselves be there for them, listen to them, so that realizing what they go through, yes, we feel for them.
Yes.
Because one thing I know, if you don't have an emotion towards someone or something, you cannot act. So that time you have been triggered by that feeling for them not being the right place, you already have a thought that you want to make them better they are.
Yes.
So this is what you have been doing. This is what you have studied. Now as a professional, what else do you need to tell us that you focus on when you are with your client?
What I've found very useful, especially with experience that I've had with the clients, is that, okay, I've done my degree, it was based on psychology, but along the way I found a passion in positive psychology. There is a difference between psychology and positive psychology. When you're talking about psychology, back then when it was growing, those times, it was like a disease model. So a disease model is whereby back then we had issues like depression. Even today we still have them, anxiety and other issues. So psychology came about because they wanted to create treatment plans so as to treat this mental illness. But now when you're talking about positive psychology, it is about looking at what is working well with the client. It is not necessarily looking at the problem as such. Yes, we do listen to what clients are going through and all that, but we also help them see what is happening right in their life and helping them focus on what is good with them and helping them be able to achieve or maintain a well-being.
Rightly, as you have put it, you are talking about the growth of psychology from what we traditionally know. Psychology was all about behavior analysis. And here you are talking about now getting to focus on the real situation of your client, trying to evaluate for you to help them on which best way they can manage their situation. What does that really mean for someone who will be in a state and they will be like in need? Can you clarify for them?
As I was talking about positive psychology and how it enhances life, okay, I may clarify a bit about positive psychology to begin with. Positive psychology came about, it was developed from the early theories or early approaches that were there when psychology was growing. So positive psychology is more scientific and mostly it deals with helping people be able to live or maintain their fulfillment, people becoming the best selves of themselves. So rather than focusing so much into problems that people have, yes, we admit people have their problems, but here we are looking at what can help these people be able to solve their problems and also be able to maintain or achieve their highest potentials. And that is why it is also very important as we are helping these young people to develop. We are not helping them in relation to positive psychology. We are not helping them just to overcome their issues. We are empowering them so that they may be able to live their best potentials and they may be able to have a positive well-being.
I love it when you talk about helping young people or your client become conscious of their potential so that they can start a journey to fulfillment. And I guess that's one of the aspects I use as a coach, where I talk about, do you know who you are and what you are all about. A question that many young people, even those who are not young for years, are struggling. And I guess there are people who have come seeking the services thinking that they will come to you and give them answer. Is it true?
Well, it is not true, because we believe that each and every individual, they have the resources that it takes to find their own solutions. So mostly we don't give any solutions. What we do, we help somebody navigate the resources that they have, and they are able to make choices in life that will enable them to overcome the issues that they have themselves. But we also give, when giving psychoeducation, we inform, we give accurate information, scientific information that will enable this person to make their own decision that is relevant to the current issue that they are experiencing. So it is all up to them. But what we do, we are there for them, we listen, we don't judge, we respect the client the way they are, irrespective of also whom they are, and we are there for them.
I always believe that when you want the best of someone, as you have said, you give scientific information. In coaching, we talk about helping someone discover alternatives to their problem. Because one of the things even I've written in my book, The Cry of the Young People, is young people, they get into stagnation because they lack the opportunity to realize alternatives that they have as young people. Now you are bringing it in as giving accurate information, where we do it in challenging people to look beyond the current situation to discover what else they can do that they have not started doing. In fact, Paul Martinelli, one of our mentors, always tells us this: anything you can imagine of, you can become. But it needs thorough focus and self-discipline to realize it. Now, when you talk about you have given your client all this scientific information and they are still struggling to act, what do you do?
Yes, we do give information, and an example of this is information is like we teach, or we also train on resilience. As you have just said, it doesn't depend so much on where we are right now, but where we are going in the future. And you have also talked about time management, and you've said it is very much important to how we program ourselves and what priorities we put in life. Well, I concur with you in that, because that's all about time management. We couldn't discuss more because that one is meant for another day. So as we are talking about resilience today, I would like us to look at 4 areas in which can help us rebuild our resilience in whatever situation that we are going through. May it be a young person or maybe an older person, it can still work. So one of the things that can help us build our resilience is a social connectivity or social support. Here I'm talking about building good relationships and also friendships with people. One of the most important relationship for any person will be the family. Because we are talking about young people, families play a very big role in building the resilience of young people. And I'm also young, so I'm also there. So let's say there is no negative experience in a young person's life, and they have a strong support system from their family, meaning that they have good relationship with their parents and also their siblings, and they are free to communicate with them anytime. So if any negative experience probably could come up, this young person is most likely to bounce back very fast as compared to a young person who is not very much connected with the family. This is because the family will give primary support to this young person. And definitely, family will not just forsake somebody. They'll be there and help this person make right decision in life because they care. So again, as we are talking about good connection, it's about friends. Friends play a very big role in young people. And it is not just those friends we just meet for drinks and all that. These are maybe few close friends who are there for you, you are able to share about your purpose in life and also your problems, your good times. These are the friends that help you bounce back when you are going through issues, because they will not mislead you, rather they will lead you to attain whatever you want to achieve.
On that, when you talk about friendship, I know John Maxwell reminds us always that when he sees people do wrong things, he doesn't blame the people who have gotten into wrong situations. He blames the friends. And that's where I think we need to caution young people outside there. It's high time. Yes, families can have issues, but you can't compare your family with your friends. We need to agree, and as I've said in my book, chapter 4, The Cry of the Young People, when we look forward to create a team that works for us in leading our lives, the families come first. Then the few friends, as you have said, which we can keep increasing day in, day out, we can keep treasuring them. But let us not sacrifice our families for the so-called friends who may not give us the very best when we need it. Right. Something else you were saying?
The second point is optimistic perspective on life. Here, I mentioned earlier about positive psychology, looking at things in the positive way. So when I'm talking about optimistic perspective on life, here I'm talking about, you have gone through a difficult moment. How do you perceive this experience? Okay, there are those who will perceive this experience as, they will perceive it negatively as, this is the end of me. I cannot be able to come out here. I am stuck. This is how they view or they perceive these experiences. But there are those who will perceive this experience differently. They will look at it on a positive way. For example, they will see a silver lining on a dark cloud.
When we talk on perception, which I've done it in my book, Change Your Perception, if you want to help the young people, philosophically, we look at the word perceive as to see what it is. If it's this situation I am in, I need to see with an open mind. Now, if that is what you are trying to encourage young people also to become conscious about, why is it necessary that they have to have the right image of where they are for them to start growing?
It is important to view or to be aware of the perception you have at a current situation. Because if you have a negative perception of whatever you are going through, there stand a high chances of getting stuck or engaging into different or negative maladaptive coping. See, when somebody can be able to have a positive perception of whatever is going through, it means that even though they are going through a tough moment, they are able to see beyond that tough moment, knowing that there is something good, or they are motivated by the future could be holding something better apart from what they are going through now. So these people, they stand a high chance to bounce back in the situation they are going through, and that is why it is very important to have this positive perception. Yes. With this positive perception of what is happening to our lives, I would like to connect it to the third point, which talks about clarification in purpose in life and realistic goal setting. So this purpose in life, we are talking about who I am, who I want to be, when I want to be, and how I'm going to be what I want to be. So it's about you achieving what you are really meant to achieve in this life. So this is very important. When somebody have this in mind, even though you're going through dark moments, even if the challenges are very tough for you, at least it will give you that hope or that motivation not to give up, just to bounce back so that you can achieve whatever you want. And realistic goals. So people, each and every individual in our lives, at times we set goals for ourselves. And these goals are very much important, especially if they are real, if they are realistic. When we are talking about realistic goals, these are SMART, meaning that they are specific, they are measurable, they are attainable, they are realistic, and they have a time frame. So these goals that we set for ourselves, they will energize us whenever we are having these challenges, so that we may be motivated to achieve them, and they will give, and we will have that satisfaction in life that we have achieved what we've set for ourselves. So these goals, they go in hand also with our purpose in life, because mostly you cannot set a goal that is not inclined to your purpose, because what would you be going after?
Most young people are struggling to find even their purpose of life because they think they are confined. They think that everything that is going around them has caused them to be in the situation they are. But in that chapter, I've discussed evaporatory when I talk about free yourself by being yourself. Now, you have had it right. You can never be free if you don't step out to make choices, set goals that are realistic, that you can measure, that you can give time frame as a young person. This is getting interesting. We are getting to help these young people see more how it has more impact when they make their own choices than when they wait someone to decide for them. Do you believe that some young people are sitting, waiting someone to come and change the situation in their lives?
Yes, there are those who could be waiting, but my pick on that will be that will never happen. Somebody has to make a choice, a tough choice, so that they may be able to reach the best versions of themselves. Okay. As we have talked about making choices in life, this connects me to spirituality, whereby we know that as human beings, in one point or another, we are very spiritual. So this brings me to the fourth point, which is spirituality. So what is this spirituality? Spirituality is about finding meaning in life, meaning that we attach to situations that we are going through, meaning we attach to each and everything that happens to us. And also it is about connecting. So whom do we connect to? This could be a higher power. This could be God if you are a Christian, Allah if you are Muslim, or any other higher power. And also connecting with human beings. We are social beings, so we connect with those around us. Could be our family, our relatives, our friends, any person who comes around us. Also in spirituality, we also connect with the environment. The trees, there are those who like beauty from the environment. And when I'm talking about spirituality, these help us to bounce back, because even study shows that when we believe in a higher power that is above us, we believe that the higher power is in control of everything that is happening to us. And these help us bounce back very fast, because we surrender or we leave everything that we are going through to this higher power to take charge. So these help young people or any person to bounce back very fast.
You're talking about a higher power.
Yes.
And I know I've learned that you can never live a fulfilled life if your purpose is not connected. I'm a believer, I'm a priest with God. And why it makes a lot of purpose when I read Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, I realize that God has a purpose for each and every one of us, even you who is watching us. The problem with us, we don't go sit and ask God, what purpose do you have for me? And that's why as young people, we need to purpose it. to seek to know what this higher power has for us. And once we get it, because this has made me also to build the confidence, is yes, when you just try to have your purpose limited maybe on what you are able to do now or in your profession or some choices you make, I know one thing. Your profession has got retirement. But when you realize your purpose is beyond, as John Maxwell says, it becomes a calling. There's no way you can celebrate life living your calling if your calling has not come from a higher power. In this case, for me, my calling comes from God. I received my vocation to be a priest. But when I became a priest, I received another vocation to become a listener. And I always promise my audience, I will listen until I die. Such that my purpose now as a priest in listening is not going to have an end until I go back to Him. Look at that. That is a purposeful life. And that's exactly what you have had. Even science is bringing it rightly that if you build your faith, you will bounce back, get right, move to become what, in this case, God has created you to become. If I were you, I would start working on my purpose. Now, let's come to you. Anything else you want to tell us and tell the young people?
As we have discussed on how we can build our resilience, I will summarize the 4 points that I made. We've discussed about social connecting as point number 1. Point number 2, positive perspective in life, clarification in purpose in life and goal setting. And the last one, spirituality. I would like to give you 3 tips that can also help in building resilience. This is acceptance, the acceptance of self, and also self-compassion and gratitude. For those tips, we can build on them maybe later or next time, but also you can contact me for more information. Thank you.
We are grateful for what Josephine has shared with us. Young as she is, look at how young people can be full of information. It is a gift, Josephine, to have you on this forum, on the caring listeners, above all, on the youth empowerment program. I know we are going to be partners in more occasions coming, but I want, before you go, what message will you have for these young people? Are you available for any parents who want you to meet their kids? Are you available for the young people who can? How can they get you?
Thank you very much, Father, for having me in this youth empowerment program. I appreciate for this opportunity. I've also learned from you, and I'm so sure also other young people have learned from us. And you parents out there, my message for you is you are not alone. I am there, and I have a great passion for young people. And you can always contact me using the information below, and I'll be there to journey with the young and the adolescents so that they may make good choices in their lives. They may be able to always bounce back and attain their dreams and goals in life. To you young people, my message for you today is where you are today doesn't matter, but what matters most is the choices you make today that will make you or determine where you want to be in the next few years from now. So I'm ready, available for you, and I'm ready to journey with you, to support you, and be there for you.
We are humbled, Josephine, for all the information you have shared with our young people. I always say information is all that you need for us to make the informed choices that can put us on the fastest way of changing our life. what we have received from you is more than enough for anyone who was in need to get out of their difficult situation, to start living anew. This is a challenge for you, and as I have always said, now you have seen we are growing a team of caring listeners. Professionals from different fields are interested to keep building you. You have seen her. She's not as old as you may think. But look, she is ready to serve you and others in the community because of the right choices she has made. You can make that choice today. Don't keep crying over what has happened, but get focused together as a team, and all the people you will be keeping learning from. We want to wish you the very best. Share this information. Bring your friends on. Let us transform our lives and transform our communities. May God bless you. Looking forward to see you in the coming week.
Jesus, I believe.
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 I believe.